Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on a very important sort of sideline topic, or maybe it's a mainline topic. But that is really, how does a psychopath view others? What is their attitude? What is the why behind the way that they treat people? Why do they have a expression that seems to be so endearing, so charming, so mesmerizing, and to be apparently in a relationship which has such a feel good on all levels, but yet it is a true mask, it is a true facade. So I want you to understand a couple of things with a psychopath. Based on brain scans, there are certain areas of the brain which show a heightened inactivity when it comes to processing of fear, aggression, as well as that relates to pain of others. When they are able to see others going through extreme hurt, extreme violence, they see this happening to others, they do not feel bad. They do not register hurts. They don't feel anything. It's just as if they're just watching, water, paint dry. I mean, they have no emotional reaction. But they can then learn that others in the world have a reaction. They see others, expressing on their face a state of shock. They see other people who get startled. They see other people who begin to have nervous reactions. They begin to see people who cry. They begin to see people who want to discuss certain things about relationships. And they have no such connection. They have no such interest. They kind of realize this in their teenage years, that there's something different about them, that they don't feel remorse or guilt when these things occur. If they were to hurt somebody or do something that is contrary to social norms, like, chew with their mouth open, or, be, hogging all the food, or doing something that is just sort of not socially responsible or socially desirable, or what you might call rude, or, violation of certain normal standards, going and taking people's things, hurting animals, stealing information, like you see the fraudsters of today. They just basically feel that this is all what they can help themselves to, and they don't feel bad. They just don't have that learning mechanism, like, okay, you could get in trouble for this. You're hurting others. You could have certain consequences, which are not, positive, which are negative, and it just does not register for them. And so they begin to then make this assumption and then make this assessment of themselves, and then they interpret this as a positive. So the fact that they can hyper arouse people and seduce people with their words, with their images, with their body, with their communication, and they see that other people will pay attention to them, they are then saying, wow, I have this extraordinary ability. I have an ability to get people's attention. I have an ability to get people to pay attention to me, in not only with eye contact, but with physical contact, that they seem to be enthralled with me. They seem to be charmed. And then they exploit this. They are able then to take this as a positive spin, to get whatever it is that they need. And what do people need? Affection, food, money, vacation. They need entertainment. They need to be amused. And so they will then take whatever it is that they need in large quantities from a large number of people, that which most people could not consume on a physical, emotional, sexual, or spiritual basis. Most people would not have that need or that consumption ability. They would not have that ability to have that certain high risk, be able to even exhibit that amount of sexuality or violence, or transcending of certain bounds. In other words, most people would not want to steal information, absorb people's contacts, go into people's offices, take things from their desks, write things that would make them, or, hack their computer that would make them perceive certain things that would elicit suspicion, hypervigilance, arousal, stalk people, so that they plant things in their environment that make them feel afraid or scared, or that, people are watching them, or leaving odd things that are like I call it basically their calling card. Whatever that might be. It might be one letter. It might be the way that they twist something around to let you know someone is tampering in your environment. They might leave, strange things like their pants undone, their underwear coming out, their undergarments, or strange things, in their pillow that they're going to see if you will notice. So they will plant these things, or, plant other sort of abstract things which you might attend to. Colors, they might put, things in your environment that just, play or tamper with your mind and get you fearful. So fear is a great way for them to basically exploit your human attention, because they don't feel fear in the same way. They don't become startled. And a lot of people, as I've mentioned, they begin to be kind of amazed, or even admiring of those people, because they don't seem to be fear. They seem to be brazen. Brazen with their sexuality, brazen with their money, brazen with their business, brazen with their speech. So they seem to be kind of, out of the box, or superhuman, or more human than human, apparently, but it's what they are missing, the inactivity in their neural centers of their brain, which cause this lack of empathy, lack of feeling. When they see others touching hands, they don't feel this. They're able to see it, and then they're able to mimic it. So they have an intellectual empathy. Studies are done at the University of Wisconsin on prisoners which are diagnosed psychopathic, and they're able to see that this psychopathic minds are able to turn on empathy when they are instructed. So if they're able to say, can you now sense what this person is sensing, or can you now feel what this person might be feeling? So it's kind of like a default mechanism. So if you instruct them to, they can elicit the areas in their brain which would then kind of basically like a flip switch turn on empathy, so they can have the appearance of empathy. They can have, display of empathy. It's not a genuine automatic state within them. It is kind of a learned, turned on state, which again is the manipulation of others. It's the persuasion. It's the way that they have kind of a learned empathy, which they are then able to execute, just kind of like a learned persona. It is not the real them. In fact, the real them is stating, look how stupid, look how weak this person is, that they have these feelings or these reactions. And they just basically capitalize on your feelings, and they keep you strung along through a number of activities, events, till they're able to get whatever it is what they want for that period of time, and then they just they're just done. I mean, they don't have any sort of, I'm sorry. They don't have any sort of, oh my God, I'm a horrible person. They're just, it's just on to the next. It's just like, okay, I'm just going to open up the next drawer. I'm just going to get myself the next pop. I'm just going to get myself the next hamburger. It's the same sort of experience for them. And they have no emotional connection or resonance with others. It's just that they will utilize others who are easier for them to manipulate and stay stuck. So the people who they marry are those people who are in the greatest state of danger, because they are in the greatest state of denial. They are the people who are really lethally addicted, and they're totally not tuning into the reality of the situation. They're overlooking just red flags that are just waving in the air blatantly. They're just not, they just don't want to see it. They are really that naive. So it's those really naive people which the psychopath just has a field day with. I mean, it's just like inside there, it's just a laughing stock to them that they're able to fool their spouse, and they will, be very brazen in this because the psychopath needs, this sort of simulation, entertainment, more or less, basically, where they will even parade, these are the people who will have 2 dates going at the same time and, set up challenges for themselves. They might invite someone who they're dating, very close to where their family is gathering, and then, be able to, have within a split, I'll be there in a minute, and then they've got another date that they're just churning and burning people like this. And so, texting others while they're at the very table with you, texting others while they're at the meeting, texting competition, texting business competition, texting love, interest competition, and then they will, give you little hints and then see if you pick up on it, and they'll then see that you're paranoid or suspicious, and then following up on this, and then maybe, freaking out, and then they're just like, ha ha, to them it's an amusement. So you become an object of ridicule and amusement to them and nothing more. So the mistake you really need to understand is that the mindset of these individuals are predator versus prey. And they are the predator. Everyone else is subject to prey and laughability, these stupid people who they're able to pull one over. And then they will, yes, be able to identify other people who are psychopathic in nature, and they'll know each other's targets, they'll know each other's tricks, and they might go out for coffee. They might go out and just kind of, who knows, they might love bomb each other, but it's on a whole different, carnal level, which most people would not even go to. And then they'll leave each other the same signals and signs and just be kind of like colluding. And so it's a very sick genre of life that you definitely don't want to be a part of. So going no contact is crucial, so you can cleanse your mindset of the belief that this person had this really tremendous and beautiful charm and way with you, and it's all a facade, it's all a mask, and this person is zero of what they are pretending to be. They are zero. And until you learn that lesson, until you really know it, until you've really exposed it, on that level, then you will, perhaps be duped or want to go back, but you will never be the same. So once you know what you know, begin to affirm that you know what you know. And furthermore, state your astromations, what I call astromations, because when you make these statements, they really go out into the cosmos. They go beyond, into infinite intelligence. And then when you begin to say, I am safe, I am safe, I am clarity, and I am knowing, and I know fear. And bear with me one moment while I just find the other statement. Because you know when you're able, and I know manipulation. Begin to make your astromations that you know what manipulation is. I know manipulation. I know emotional manipulation. I know fear manipulation. I know sexual manipulation. Once you're able to make those statements in the I know, and I am clear, and I am safety, and I am protective of myself, it's the awareness that you need to protect yourself, which is really going to help create the gratitude, which you need to really get in on that level and begin then to resonate on that level of gratitude. And gratitude in all areas of your life, not only physical areas, emotional areas, spiritual areas, the areas of food, having gratitude for your food, for your air, for your lights, for everything that you have, for your sensation, gratitude for your feelings, for your breath, begin to have gratitude in so many different areas. And then basically your connection then to others will begin to be restored. And the psychopath, they are going to continue to be grave hurters and violators of others. And thank God that they are just blowing on, like the wind, just moving on to their next prey, because that is a position that you definitely don't want to be in. It is not a coveted position. it is not because they really value you. It is just because they see you as prey. And it's when you go no contact, you let them know otherwise. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.